Does OF ruin your life? What do y'all think? Y'all think it ruins your life or it makes your life better?
The amount of people that
Let's
have
see what
sent
they're talking
me and
about
my
here.
husband death. The amount of people who have sent my husband things from my past consistently week by week is like so hard for him to deal with. And then for me to be like ashamed about because I'm constantly being reminded.
That's crazy. He married a P star and is upset that people are sending him your old work. I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna marry a P star, you better have a strong mental health setup, dude. Because yeah,
Of the things I've
duh.
done when I just want to live.
I'm an OnlyFans model and a mom of 4.
Is it really that bad if you're an OF creator? I mean, you'll never feel like you want for love because it's like being in a relationship with thousands of people. It's one of those rare cases where you can meet someone in public and they recognize you, but they also know what you look like beneath your clothes. And that's probably the first thing they think about.
He probably
when they
living
see
good
you.
off
Can you
that
imagine
one,
someone
too.
walking up to you and they say, "Hey, I know you. I watch you on OF. You're my favorite creator." Or maybe you're out of that industry and you're trying to move on with your life and you keep getting
I'm not gonna lie. That's a little weird though. Like, you're my favorite OF creator. I watch you all the time. Chill out, dude.
reminded of it, or you try to sign up for a job or something, and your employers find out that you used to open your legs for millions of people
Used to
all
pop that
over the
cap.
world. And suddenly they're like, you know what? I don't think you're going to be a right fit for this brand, even though you're no longer doing those things. But you probably feel like you have to go back and do it again because the only jobs that will take you are jobs that you don't necessarily want to do, like doing a service for people, like picking up trash or giving people a Happy Meal. Maybe you end up in a happy relationship
I'm not gonna lie. Garbage men or women, they make money.
until your
They make
boyfriend's
money,
friends recognize you or his parents. No more happy relationship. And there's a lot of discussion about this and people wondering, oh, is it really that bad if you are that kind of content creator? Because in your mind, you're probably giving people a service that is required, and it's no different than somebody who sings or
That's actually absurd though. Like, he decided to date a girl that's doing that type of work and then cheated on her because he doesn't trust her.
entertains people for a living. You're just doing it in a very special way.
To own a salon, and now I'm making over $50,000 a month.
What do you think?
I think there's 100% a stigma around being an OnlyFans model who is a mom.
And a lot of people might be confused and wonder, what is the big issue with airing out my back door for millions of people to see? I mean, it's my body. I should have the right to express myself the way I want to and use my body the way I want in order to get what I want. Nothing wrong with that, right? Unfortunately, yes, the kind of work
See, so I'm gonna be real with y'all here. I'm gonna be real with y'all here. If she wanna make her money like that, and it's making her successful, if she is happy herself, if she's happy herself, I don't see what the fuck the rest of this would even be about. But if they are doing this to make this money and then they're unhappy, then that lets you know what the problem is very easily, right? Like, it shouldn't be that difficult to like determine that. If you're like, damn, I want to do this job and it's making me hella bread and I love it and I love myself and I'm great and I don't care and I'm living a good life and I'm actually happy, then you're not going to be worried about what other people are really saying. Like, yeah, it could be annoying, but people always have something to say. People are always talking shit online. People are always doing some crazy shit, right? Like, you could just live.
work that's tied to, you cannot escape from that. The longest while, people who do spicy work are always seen as the
What's good, boy?
scarlet letter wearers, and people have made arguments saying that that kind of work is misunderstood and criminalized. And Western society, especially, carries centuries of shame that's rooted in religion, patriarchal, and colonial traditions. That's the argument that people are making to explain why it's archaic that people would look down on people like this. And while it might be unfair for people to put a stigma on this, sometimes, just sometimes, stigmas exist
Some of these games she's playing as the background footage look kind of interesting.
for a reason. Well, to
It's not easy being a
understand why
woman.
it's a stigma in the first place, we first have to understand human beings as a species and why their
Wouldn't know.
psychology and their biology and how that plays a part in
No, I mean, like, I feel like there's probably stigma on both sides, but I feel like he's a bitch raking women's rights were a mistake because now they say crap like this. No one would worry if it were a man. Well, the difference is, like, let's be fair. The male creators in the same industry are nowhere near going to be as popular as the female creators. I'm just going to say, I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be real. the women in this industry are always gonna be more popular than the men. Point blank period. So they're gonna always have the most attention on them in this industry. So they're gonna always get the most hate, you know? And then it probably doesn't help that some of these people like do this, but then they have like whatever their actual beliefs are, but no one wants to listen to your beliefs if you look like a certain type of way. And no one cares about your moral stance if they personally deem what you're doing like as immoral. So it's kind of like dumb all around. But I mean, hey, like I said earlier, if they happy, they happy. It's your life to live, right? Like you do what you want.
in how humans think and the
You do what
repercussions
you
or
want,
consequences
I'ma do
of
me.
certain actions within society. First of all, the internet has completely flipped how we think about love and relationships. Yes, I agree that people should be free to do what they want with their own bodies, but if we're talking about the effect of platforms like Tinder and OnlyFans on human being society, technically, we're not really built for this, not biologically, and not emotionally or socially either. And a lot of people also believe that the more that we normalize this stuff, especially without thinking critically, is the more we're getting all kind of
Whoa,
like
dude.
weird. And I think the argument can be made back in our ancestors' times, like prehistoric times, being
The right
intimate
to
and
nut how I
love and all
want
that
is
stuff was
crazy.
kind of connected, and your brain would release these chemicals when you got physically close to someone. You get close to that person, and then your body starts releasing oxytocin and dopamine and all that good stuff. And all that does is help you bond and trust and stick around with that person. That's how we survived as a species. Now people are existing in a world
Mo
where
is
your
ready
brain
to
is
crash
being
out
hit
in
with
chat.
the same chemicals, watching strangers on screens or performing for people that you don't even know. And yeah, as a result, it kind of messes with your ability to connect in real life, and you end up feeling numb and burnt out, and you're like, why can't I find a date? Or you just
Okay, but I'm gonna look. I just have to say this, right? If you are going to be on camera doing anything as a woman, you should definitely make sure your mental health is probably set up properly and prepared for what's gonna happen, because all of these creators see the same things happen to other creators and they still go on the same path to do the same thing. Like there's enough information out in the world to where you could definitely have an idea of what you're getting yourself into. Maybe not to the maximum. That boy is hilarious. Maybe not to the maximum, but like there's enough. There's enough stuff for you to like be able to know and see. Like
straight up not interested in anyone anymore or anything real or breeding, because you're getting this constant high on stimulation without having to build real emotional closeness and do any of the work. So that rewires your whole reward system. And why would you bother going for a relationship when you get the same dopamine high out of just watching it? Because boom, you can create intimacy, you put in the work when you could just go on hijack. So now to emotionally decides to shit on your head.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm like low key gonna skip. I thought she was gonna have like clips of like the stars talking about it themselves, and then maybe her commentary. But she did flap these lips hella. She did flap these lips hella. This is a W commentary video because she really was in this bitch yapping. But I kind of want to. I like those commentary videos where they're talking, but they also show like the references of the people doing or talking about or showing what they're saying. Like those are the better videos, And
Same time. So I know a lot of you are probably like, well, what was the point of you babbling on about that? Seriously. Because a lot of these creators end up coming what they do. They all occupation that you choose.
like I'll say this, right? Everybody has their struggles, and we know these people probably got their own struggles too. But she yapped for 16 minutes and really didn't say nothing that was like she didn't say anything we didn't already know.